Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday. It is, in some parts, the day after. And it is the day after a tragic, catastrophic, category 4, category 5 hurricane for the state of Florida. Certain parts were obviously hit more than others. I have been keeping up with it. I have been watching the news over it, and it is devastating. I mean, if you thought Helene was pretty much bad and pretty much up there, I mean, they had all the news anchors, anybody who, whoever, depending on who you watch, you may have your favorite news anchor, you may have your favorite weather person. Doesn't matter. They all basically said the same thing. This was going to be, it could be horrific. Let me move this a little bit over this way because the light is bothering me and I'm starting to get a shadow, and I'm sorry about that. It is a beautiful day here in New York City. Sunshine is happening. And it's like two different worlds. You would not believe what's happening in other parts. It could be just gorgeous. The weather could be beautiful. It could be springtime weather. Right here, I'm sitting here in the 50s. The temperature is in the 50s. It's going into the upper 60s today. And it's going to be wonderful. But however, the aftermath of other people in other parts of the world are suffering right now. And I chose not to discuss anything before the hurricane. I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. And I should not be in shock. I really shouldn't. It should just be, people are the way they are. All right. And my one friend, as I says to her, I says, well, you listen, you are what you are. There's no more, arguing with you. There's no more, suggesting. I mean, especially when I get asked a reply of what to reply, like, they have something, well, what are your opinions more? What do you think about it? Well, I tell you what I think about it. And I seem to be wasting my breath more. So I'm going to ask you, and you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about close personal friends. Do not ask me anything because you're not going to take it into consideration. There's one right now that we're probably not even on speaking terms. And I'm going to tell you something right now, point blank. Forgive my words, but I really don't give a shit. Okay, I just don't. Certain things in my life I walk away from. I choose to walk away. I just don't care. I really don't. And these people should know that. But she's going to get a hard lesson on it anyway. And whether she thinks, she thought I was kidding or not. But no, I don't kid. I don't play. It's like a waste of my time. Don't go wasting my time anymore. The situation, I have a friend now down in Disney World. And let's get into this and talk about this. But she says to me 3 days ago, oh, what's coming. I says, listen, you knew you had a shot to either move the trip, call in, move the trip, even before this is even before she left her house. You had a shot to not cancel, but shift it down or shift it around, maybe use it for another time of the year or, use it for that. I says, but, what should I do? I says, I'm telling you what you should do. What you should do, you don't have to take my opinion. You don't have to, just take it into consideration. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Totally did a 360. Wound up, make a long story short, she wound up going. She is now sorry she did that. Calls me up the day before yesterday again. She calls me and she says, oh my God. She says, well, I says, listen, you have less than 24 hours. There's something in my eye. I'm sorry. I said, you have less than 24 hours. I says, now this would have been yesterday or the day before. I says, listen, you have less than 24 hours. I says, if I were you, I would make serious arrangements. Maybe you could shorten your trip. Okay, maybe you could shorten it. oh well, no, my husband and the kids really want to stay, and it's like it's our first hurricane experience. I says, you're not paying. You didn't pay to go down there for a hurricane experience. And I says, I'm sure people who live down there do not think what just spewed out of your mouth, which sounded like you're going to have fun. These people live down there all their lives. These people live down there. I'm sure they don't think this shit is fun either. Anytime they get a hurricane, I mean, they just got over Hurricane Helene. I mean, they're still cleaning up from the effects of Helene. There's people's houses that are still flattened to the ground because of Helene. I says, you think these people are enjoying this shit? You're making it sound like you're going down for fun, for an experience of a hurricane. I says, you need to use your words like really carefully, especially if you're going to talk to somebody else. I said, I know you're talking to me, so I know you for years that to where I feel that I could tell you, don't say it like that, because you're going to be taken you're going to be taken in the wrong way. You're going to hit the wrong person that you're going to say that to, and they're just going to slam you. So sure enough, I says, well, if I were you, I would call the airport, see what you can do. Maybe you can get an earlier flight to get the hell out of there. You had 24 hours to do this. Actually, she had like 48, I'll be honest. And she wound up not taking the advice. Yesterday, calls, oh my God, I called the airport and they're shut down. I says, I told you that Orlando International Airport, as of yesterday, by the way, they shut down at 8 a.m. I already had the information for that. I says, well, this is what happens. I says, because I know damn well you didn't call the airport. Oh, well, no, we were down, the kids wanted breakfast and and then we got sidetracked and then we just wound up going to the park. I says, well, that's good for you. I says, oh, now you can't leave. So now you're going to have to muddle through. Okay. What the outcome is of today, if I'm going to hear from her, I'm probably not even going to hear from her. I mean, and at this point, I'll be honest with you, I really don't, I would choose not to hear from her. I really don't care. Okay. You made your choice. You made your situation. Okay. People tend to sometimes, even in situations, they have the chance to change their lives a little bit for that one time, and they choose not to do that. So whose fault is that? Well, you gonna blame? Then I switch over to social media. God help me. I chose also yesterday not to interact with too many people in social media because, I told you say something's red, they're going to swear it's blue, and that's going to be it. The most stupidity, asinine comments that I have ever read in my life. And I took a few screenshots. I actually posted them to my Instagram page of just the stupidity of what people had to say. Then I found that a lot of times in certain comments, I was not the only one thinking or saying what they really wanted to say. Other people were doing that. And for those comments, I jumped in. I had to agree with them on that. And, because those comments were the more truer comments. Like, what the hell are you still doing there? You knew this thing was coming. Why didn't you just cancel? Why didn't you just move your trip? You could have did this. And basically what I was saying to somebody personal in my life, which is a friend. So, can't force anybody to do anything. Hey, listen, it's on you now. It's on you, okay? So, for anybody who did other comments, other people got slammed. One of the comments that really stick out to me is that food kits that Disney had posted information about, the hurricane, you need to stay in your rooms. Parks were going to be closed out, but I believe parks were closed down at 1 p.m. yesterday at that point. I did see some videos of people running through the rain in their ponchos, and people went to Animal Kingdom that morning. I mean, people were still flocking to the parks even yesterday morning, which I think is sick and disgusting, but hey, you do you, I guess. I know the last time that I went, And it wasn't even a hurricane 2022. I don't know. We didn't experience nothing. We just got caught in the rain a few times. It rained that one week, just rain. I came home on the plane that morning. I came home. I was deathly sick. I had a fever and everything. All I wanted to do was just come home, go into my bed, and, drop dead from there. But it's terrible. It's a terrible feeling to be sick while you're on a trip. So I'm saying to myself, all these kids that are playing and jumping in the puddles and running through the rain with their stupid ass parents, because yes, you are stupid ass, to allow the children to do it. You go home, you're all going to get sick. A majority of you are going, not everybody, but a majority of you, unless you have some superpowers where you never get sick, which I think is, even more stupid to say. But that is what it is. Horrible. And just the comments that were floating. So sure enough, there were a few normal people that were commenting on papers. Wait a minute, somebody says, you mean to tell me that you got to pay for a food kit? Now, I'm sure that the resorts, they were making food kits to have extra foods and stuff so that people could bring it back to their rooms and whatever the case. Then they were suggesting, which always made sense, that the coffee makers in the room, you could use the hot water out of the coffee maker to get yourself some cup of soups, or ramen noodles, if you guys have those sort of things. I'm sure a lot of people down there do grocery shopping. They have groceries delivered. And at that point, I'm sure yesterday they weren't having anything delivered because nobody was supposed to be out. So they were saying, heat hot water up in your coffee maker. You could use it for ramen noodles or a cup of soup or something like that. So, at that point, it was basically survival mode. So somebody got real pissed off on one of the boards and says, wait a minute, what do you mean? We got to pay for food kits? She says, it's a hurricane. Don't they, weren't they going to give anything out? Well, obviously, Disney's going to see the opportunity. Why would Disney do that? You really thought that Disney was going to be accommodating to pass out free food at that point? Although, I'm going to tell you something. I kind of agree with this. I think maybe they should have packed like a little goodie bag or something. I'm not talking for Halloween shit. I'm talking about real food, maybe like a sandwich or a bottle of water or something. I think they should have done that. But that's not the way it went. You had to pay for the food kit. That was Disney's probably last way of saying, we're still making money. Now, there was an article yesterday that came out. Disney is already in the mode, wait till you hear this shit, of losing $200 million because of the hurricanes. And this was in the article said of just Hurricane Hurricane Milton. I mean, this is like totally ridiculous. You're already tallying up how much you lost. The hurricane didn't even hit at that point yet. But I read that article at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And I believe WDWNT, I want to say they were one of them. Forgive me if it's not. I make a mistake. That's okay. But I know there was a news article that was $200 million that Disney was going to lose because of Hurricane Milton. I mean, really. I don't know, like sometimes if Disney just allows this stuff to be spewed out just so that, and again, I had said this a long time ago, they just like to be staying in the news. They like to keep afloat. This is what keeps them in the mainstream of the news. I mean, whether it be good news or bad news, and the majority of it is bad. And it hasn't been good for quite some time. Now, not only that, but an article came out yesterday during all this shit of the hurricane that Disney's prices in Disneyland and Disney World will in fact be going up, and the Magic Key will in fact be going up in price. So, listen, it's on you. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. You seem to be putting up with a lot of shit with them. I look at it and go, wow, and again, for everything that I hear, for everything that I read, for everything that I sit and watch, as far as WDWNT, WDW Pro, that Park Place, I watch those mainstream shows. You know this by now. I only watch a certain amount of them. They've they've been on the mark reporting what they've been reporting. Even WDWNT, which I'll be honest with you lately, with the thing with Tom, is kind of come see, come saw with me. People are now seem to be teetering. Okay. One of the channels I also watch, my husband watches, he's been watching a lot of it because he's been home with me. By the way, he went back to work today. He's doing okay. He's got to get back into the swing of things because, you kind of get used to certain things, and now all of a sudden, oh, what do you mean I got to do that? It's one of those things for him. So, but the thing that's teetering back and forth, certain channels, which happens to be PC Dev. Now, PC Dev right now has his own little dilemma because his thing is that he's in the middle of trying to get information together and purchasing his first home. Okay, and the state of Florida right now with homes is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the mortgage rate market is up. Over here, it's up, I think it's 6.7, So it teeters, you also have to understand that the mortgage rate market goes up and down by day. So just because it's 6.7 today does not mean it's going to be 6.7 tomorrow. It could be 6.5, it could be 6.2. It actually has lowered down to 6.2. As of 2 weeks ago, it was 6.2. But then now it's starting to shoot up again. I think it was 6.5 3 days ago. Now it's up to 6.7 again. So that's a lot. But he has now his own dilemmas. And then he started to get ready for the hurricane. And, and that's another thing with the vloggers and the bloggers. I chose not to watch any of them as this storm was going to hit because this was their only source of news down there. Okay, the hurricane. We have to prepare a video of preparing for the hurricane, a video of what we do a video of how we go through the hurricane. I don't care. People in the state of Florida right now, there are millions, they claim on my news here in New York, there are millions down there in Florida that have now lost power. They're sitting in the complete darkness, even though I'm sure by now some people have sunshine days right now, hours after this storm blew through. So people are sitting in sunshine, but this is only going to be their only source of light right now because when it hits darkness, you're going to be sitting in the dark for quite some time. Unbelievable. So that happens to be, I chose not to watch the vloggers and the bloggers because of that. I just, to me, that's like irrelevant. I also think sometimes it's kind of selfish to do that. Me personally, I don't think I could be able to do that, to film something. Although you say it as, oh, well, we're getting information out to the people. It's a good source of information. Maybe somebody wants to watch it because they want to know what to do in a hurricane. No, that's what you want to do during a hurricane. That may not work for someone else. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was to ever experience a hurricane up here or a terrible catastrophic storm, which we have had here in New York, but I wouldn't watch somebody else's video. I wouldn't do it. Would I make a video? Probably not. It just doesn't seem like the right thing to do. It just doesn't seem that way. So it's just not for me. I mean, I filmed a rainstorm. I filmed, it's a rain, but I don't do preparation videos. I don't do that just so that you can get a certain number of people for your video. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure their numbers went up because of yesterday and the day before. And there was somebody's video yesterday. They went live on, a few of them went live on TikTok yesterday morning before the 1 p.m. Shut down for the park. Somebody was at Animal Kingdom and everybody was, oh, we're going now to Dinosaur. And that's another friggin' thing. Switching over to the other day, which is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Now, that ride ran its last show a few days ago. And of course, everybody flocked to it, and the video went up by other people. Everybody had a video, the last show, the last performance of this, the last. Listen, I've been in there where there was absolutely just me and my husband sitting in there. There was nobody in there. Okay, now all of a sudden that you know that it's closing, it becomes a big thing. Cut the shit, okay? just see, I can't do Oh my God, I'm gonna miss it. Oh my God, it was so what? That's enough. I can't. I can't. So I chose not to watch any of those videos either. I've seen them come up in my lineup on my YouTube, of the next videos coming up. But I choose just to scroll by. I can't. It's just a foolishness. I can't. So while my husband was recovering and everything, we near the end of coming, because it was, decided, I said, you need to get out, you need to walk a little bit, get back into the feel of things. And I needed to walk because I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be like a greyhound coming out of the starting gate today of a dog race. I'm just going to shoot out the door because I need to get out and walk. My body needs to pep up a little bit. And, you kind of get used to going, that relaxed mode, but, you really can't do that. You got to get moving. So we went the other day. We went to Box Lunch. We went to Jersey Garden Mills Mall. We also went to American Dream Mall. My husband picked up a few things. So in the next video, as the videos go along, I'll show you some of our purchases and what we purchased. Yeah. And that's really it. Other than that, everything is going nice. It is a gorgeous day in the 50s now. It's going into the 60s. It is now 9:38 a.m. I'm home alone, but I'm going to get my ass out the door. It's time. It's time. There are new scratch-offs at the New York State Lottery. By the way, I believe the New York State Lottery is going up in price. It's going to be going up. And like the Mega Millions, the Powerball, instead of going up $2, instead of its $2 mark now, it is literally going to be $5 a game. From $2 a game to $5, okay? Does Bob Iger have something to do with the lottery too? Because it feels like, anytime now something happens, I feel like it's a Bob Iger move. I blame Bob Iger for everything, literally. The other day something happened. I says, it feels like a Bob Iger thing. Oh yeah, I went to Jersey Garden Mills Mall. I filmed that little clip of me having that Pepsi, even though I said Coke in the video, but it wasn't. And yes, I was dying of thirst. Someone made a smart ass crack at that, but anyhow, I was dying of thirst, but I paid $3.36, I think it was, for that 20-ounce bottle of Coke. That was insane. But I was thirsty, and the store was there, and I was like, maybe it's a Jersey thing. I have no idea. Because over here, I paid $2.50 or $2.70 back in my neighborhood here. And even in the city, it's $2.50. I mean, it's like $3.30, really? I mean, sometimes you got to pay a toll with your car to get into Jersey from where we are. I was like, this is like a toll price. And the other day, anything that happens, it's like spike work. I always call it like a Bob Iger move. Maybe it's Bob Iger. Bob Iger had something to do with this. Anyway, I got to find some fun somewhere, right? So I pick at Bob. Let's pick at Bob. Let's poke Bob a little. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I will talk to you soon. Hey, listen, if anything pops up today, so will I. But I want to check out the new New York State Lottery scratch-offs. They do have a couple of them. I'm after the $3 ticket. Maybe I'll just buy one $3 ticket and see how it goes. The other day, I won $10 on one of my original $2 tickets. I was like, oh my God, it's wonderful. All right. Anyhow, love to all. I will talk to you soon. Maybe sometime today. Have a wonderful, wonderful, happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. Please, Floridians, please be safe. Please, I know it's a cleanup method. I know, like, when everybody woke up today, they are in devastation. Up here in all the parts, all we can do is say a prayer for you, perhaps donate, maybe a little bit of money, something. But also, when you donate something, I want to be clear on this. Donate to an organization where you know it is legit. There are a lot of fake organizations out there. And you don't know where your credit card is going. You don't know where your credit card number is going. You don't know if they're selling your credit card numbers in other countries. You have no idea. This world is rough. So please be mindful of where you're donating your money. I'm not saying you can't donate, but be careful of where you're donating it right now. There's a lot of fly-by-nights. All right. Love to all. Happy Thursday. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.